Welcome back. In lesson 4, we built add product and update product. Today we complete the CRUD cycle with delete product. And deletion in Google Sheets is the most interesting of the four operations because it uses an entirely different part of the API. So everything we've done so far has been through the values resource, reading and writing cell values. Deletion doesn't touch the values resource at all. To actually remove a row from a spreadsheet, you use the spreadsheet.batch update endpoint with a delete dimension request. It's a different API surface, different request shape, and different mental model. We also cover batch write operations, how to bundle multiple changes into a single API round trip, which becomes important when you're building anything beyond a single or a simple single row edit. So by the end of this lesson, CRUD is fully complete. When you write data to sheets using values.append or values.update, you're working with cell values, the content inside the cells. You're not changing the structure of the spreadsheet itself. Deleting a row is a structural change. You're not clearing cell content, you're removing the entire row and shifting all rows below it up by one. That's a fundamentally different operation and it lives on a different endpoint, spreadsheets.batch update. Spreadsheets.batch update is a general purpose endpoint for making structural changes to a spreadsheet. It accepts a list of request objects, each one describing a specific structure change. The request type we need is delete dimension request. So the key shape of the request looks like this. We have the spreadsheets.batch update and we pass in the request. And in the request, we have a delete dimension that we specifying the numeric sheet ID, the index of the row to delete, and all that. So notice two things that differ from everything we have done before. Sheet ID is a number and not a name. The first sheet in a spreadsheet has ID 0. You can find this in the URL. When you click a sheet tab, the URL changes to GID is equals to 0 or GID is equals to any number. So the default sheet 1 is almost always 0. Indices are 0 based and the end is exclusive. So row 2, our first data row, the head row is row 1, right? So for row 2, it has index 1 in the API's 0 based system. To delete it, you'd set start index to 1 and end index to 2. Confusing? Maybe? So this is the trickiest part, converting from our data model to the correct 0 based API index. Now let's trace through it. So sheet row 1 is equals to header row, right? Which is equals to API index 0. Sheet row 2 is our first product's row of row 0, which will refer to as API index 1. Sheet row 2 will be our second product, will be in API index 2, and like that. So sheet row n is equals to API index n minus 1. That's a formula. The formula will be the API index is equals to row index plus 1 if you revert it. So where row index is a 0 based index of the product in our rows arrays, so same as we computed in lesson 5, minus 1 compared to the row number formula there. Now let's check. If a product is at row 2, the third product, its sheet row is 4, header plus 3 rows, and its API index is 3, 2 plus 1. So we set start index to 3 and end index to 4. So it's important to note that after deletion, all rows below shift up. This means if you're deleting multiple rows in a single pass, you need to delete from the bottom up, highest index first. Otherwise, the indices shift as you delete and you'll remove the wrong rows. So we'll see this in the batch delete section. Now let's implement the delete product by adding it to the Sheets repository. The structure feels more verbose than values.append or values.update, right? But the logic is the same three-step pattern from update product. You find the row, you calculate the index, then they make the API call. So before we wire the delete into the notifier, let's talk about the UX pattern. Deleting a product is a destructive, irreversible action. So there's no undo in Google Sheets via the API. So the UI must always confirm before deleting. The standard Flutter pattern is a confirmation dialog via show dialog. User taps the delete icon on a product card. A dialog appears, delete Flutter hoodie. This can't be undone. Then two buttons, either cancel and delete. Only if the user confirms does the delete call fire. So the delete icon on the product card should be an icon button with icons or delete outline. So we have to make it subtle, not red by default, only the confirmation dialog button is red. So you don't want accidental taps. So let's wire it into the catalog, wire our delete product into a catalog notifier following the same async.card pattern. The identical structure, it has the identical structure to add product and update product. The right refetch pattern applies here too. After deletion, we reread the sheet to confirm the row is gone and get the updated list. Same flow. Now let's talk about batch operations. The term batch appears in two different contexts in the Sheets API, and it's worth being precise. Values.batchGet reads multiple ranges in one request. We covered that in lesson 3. Values.batchUpdate writes to multiple ranges in one request. It's different from spreadsheets.batchUpdate. Spreadsheets.batchUpdate, it makes multiple structural changes like delete rows, add sheets, format cells, etc. in one request. So this is what we just used for deletion. The one we haven't used yet is values.batchUpdate. This is powerful for scenarios where you need to update multiple non-contiguous cells or ranges in one cell. For example, updating 3 separate products at once. The request takes a list of value range objects, each with its own range target. If you need to delete multiple products at once, a bulk delete feature, the order matters critically. So the wrong approach would be deleting row at index 3, then deleting row at index 7. After the first deletion, the row that was at index 7 is now at index 6, right? So your second delete removes the wrong row. So the correct approach is sort the indices in descending order and then delete from the bottom up, like this. So two things to notice: we collect all the indices first before any deletions, then sort descending, then send them all in a single batch update. So this is both correct bottom up and efficient for one round trip. Now let's step back and appreciate what we've built so far across the three lessons. So we have the different operations we've created. So we have read all that uses values.get using the method fetch products. Then we have read batch that uses values.batchGet. Then we have create, which you can use for multi-sheet apps. Then we have our create operation that uses values.append using our add product method. Then we have the update one using the values.update using our update product method. Then we have update many, which uses the values.batch update when you want to do a bulk edit. Then we have delete one using the spreadsheets.batch update and the delete dimension using the delete product method. Then we have the delete many using the spreadsheets.batch update and the multiple delete dimensions using the delete products method. So the pattern across all of them is find the rows by ID, calculate the correct index or range, make the API call, then refetch the state. That's lesson 5. CRUD is complete. You can now add, read, update, and delete products, and the sheet reflects every change in real time. The catalog notify is fully wired with all 4 operations and each following the same async value .guard write, refetch, and state update cycle. If you want to have clear understanding about Riverpod, I'll leave the link of the course down below. So in lesson 6, the final lesson, we add the professional polish layer, proper error handling with a sealed result type, loading state improvements, offline detection with connectivity checks, and retry logic with exponential backup. These are the things that separate a demo from a production app. See you in lesson 6.